Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name's Amy. I'm here today to talk Traitors, as always, with my buddy Axel. And today we are joined with Gabbing with Gibson Johns. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We
Thrilled
are
to be here.
Gabbing with Gib.
Gabbing with Gib. Yeah,
Love it.
exactly.
So good to meet you. Thank you
You
so much
too.
for doing this. I know that you cover a lot of Bravo, so I don't get to listen to you that much because here's the full disclosure, right? Axel is the Bravo expert,
I love
Okay.
Bravo.
and I am
My kinda
new
guy.
to everything, even Traitors. Like I'm over with the trash shows on TLC.
Listen, I love the idea of like people coming with fresh eyes to things that I watch all the time because sometimes I worry that I'm in too deep and can't see the forest from the trees, you
Yeah.
know? So it's
Yeah.
actually I love getting sort of like another perspective on these shows sometimes
Yeah.
because it keeps us sort of grounded and real, you know? So I think
But
that's great.
what could happen is what happens to me often with Sister Wives, where I'm like, how could you not be riveted by the three of them sitting on the porch talking about this? And
Sure.
everybody's like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm glued to it.
You get sucked in. And Bravo, especially, is its own universe.
hmm
You know,
Mhm.
my wife and I we watch all the shows, and that's how I started listening to you. And I think and then I was so excited when I heard you had Callie on and
Yes.
Kempire and other
Uh-huh.
people that I listened to about Bravo. And then I talked to Amy and I'm like, watch the Bravo shows. You've got to watch the Bravo
I
shows.
tried. I
But
watched Real
yeah,
Housewives of Salt Lake City season 1.
And it wasn't for you.
It's not for me.
And listen, that's okay. I think I always say I think in life like it's just as important to find out what you don't like than versus
yeah,
what you do like. And
totally.
you know, I don't know if the TLC universe is for me, and that's okay too. You know, we all have our thing.
I
And
Yeah.
feel like the Housewives, not them themselves, but the show, the production value, all it's too classy for me. I need to be
that's what I like
down.
about it.
I need to be down with Matt Sharp.
Sure,
That
sure.
is so fun. Well, see, I that's why I'm in the middle here on the picture because I do both. I do all reality TV from the beginning, going back to like American Family on PBS, Real World, because
Love it.
originally a documentary fan, and
hmm
that led me into reality TV and
Well, we
from
grew up with the
Survivor
real
to
world.
everything. Yeah,
Right.
Real World, totally. So
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So I love the TLC. I definitely love the Bravo and it's all good. And I don't know. Someday they're gonna come up with like a battle of the network stars
I
thing
believe that too.
where they go against each other because the
Okay,
Mary
who
thing.
gets to beat the shit out of Robin Brown? That's what I need to know because that's going to be a coveted spot in like the jousting with her.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah, it could be. But you see,
mm.
the Mary thing kind of started it, where it's like they're going after Mary, you know, the
Shots
documentary
fired.
on her.
Yep. Yep.
So it's kind of like, Andy didn't really have too much to say about that, but I think,
Which I think if you read the tea leaves, I think that that's
yeah,
very purposeful.
yeah,
And I viewed that Mary Cosby documentary as well as like the Hulu ones that have been about Jen Shaw and Erica Jane, other housewives, and like their
yeah,
scandals. It feels like some of the other networks are trying to like kind of get some of the Bravo gold, you know,
yes, totally. Yep,
which is, you know, it's smart of them because it's also painting it in not the best light because the question that comes out of a documentary like that is inevitably should these people be platformed basically, and
Yeah.
then it sort of
yeah,
shines a bad light on Bravo itself, which, you know, I disagree with that. I think I like watching people who have effed up and done bad things. Like I
You
don't
can
need to
say
watch
fucked up here.
fucked up. I like people who have crossed the line because like I like to see
yeah,
the aftermath of it, and two,
Yeah.
like who wants to watch perfect people who you agree with all the time on reality TV? That's not what it's
no,
about.
They
yeah.
do not want to start peeling back the layers on the people they cast on 90 Day Fiance. Let me
Oh,
tell
I
you.
believe that.
They
I
do not
believe
want to start
that.
that.
It's
I
just
will
all humanity. It's so
It
interesting, you
Totally.
is.
know.
I
Yeah.
will say I loved Surviving Mormonism with Heather Gay. Did you get into that?
I did. I did watch that. That was
Loved
great.
it. I thought
it
it
was
was
well done.
great. I hope they
Mhm.
do more of that. I'm thinking they might. They kind of set it up to be
Oh yeah.
a series, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, similar
Yeah.
to the Leah Remini one. I'm sorry, but that's
No,
what I
no,
was
no.
thinking of, the
Yeah, I
Scientology
loved
one.
that. That was a
Hmm.
great. What was that called again? I love that show. That was a good one.
Leaving Scientology, was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that was it.
yeah, yeah. I think that Heather Gay is sort of positioning herself as the Leah Remini of the Mormon Church, which is it's a smart position to put yourself in. And
Yeah, yeah. I love Heather. I think she's great. The other Bravo show that I do cover and talk about is the McBee Dynasty.
okay, so that is one of the very few Bravo shows that I don't watch, but I am gonna.
Blame you.
I'm putting together like a Patreon soon when I just want to do it right, so I'm taking
Hmm.
my time with it.
Hmm.
But one of the things is going to be every month I'll binge a show of a season of a show that I have not yet. And McBee is one of those ones that like it started out sort of as a fledgling Peacock show, so nobody
Hmm.
really paid attention to it. Then it got put on Bravo, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, don't sleep on this show." So now I know I have to binge it before the next season comes out because I've heard great things.
It's so good. Axel, were you the one who turned me on to that? Because we covered it on Peacock.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So
because
good.
again, I just saw that's right, because I knew him from Joe Millionaire.
Yes.
And on Joe, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Right.
and on Joe Millionaire, they had a scene where his family was all there, and my wife and I were both like, they need a reality show. And then they did it.
Funny. I
So
forgot about
when
that
they did it,
connection.
yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. It's definitely, I mean, and it touches upon the culture we're living in now. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yep.
it's an interesting cross section. And also them bringing that into Bravo, I found that was a weird decision, but it seems to have worked so far. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where on maybe the existing Bravo shows or just the shows that maybe they have like more of like a coastal appeal maybe to certain people, but like there's viewers have a very low tolerance on those shows for anything that doesn't align with that from a
Because they
political
need
perspective.
real Americans on the
Yes.
McBee
Right.
Dynasty.
Right. Well, but also like I think that maybe you sort of Trojan horse it into Bravo,
Yeah.
that perspective
That's
via
what
another
I think.
show,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't really if somebody pops up on Housewives or Southern Charm or Vanderpump Rules who has like very overt, politics that don't align with certain viewers, like it's just
Hmm.
not going to go over well. And there have been many examples of that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
it just happened with the Jill Zarin thing on
Yeah.
E. So
Totally. Yeah.
yeah,
That which was the reaction to that was so quick. I
very.
was like, wow, okay.
Hmm.
I
Okay,
don't,
good.
did she
Yeah.
get, I think I saw headlines on this. She
She
said something and was,
basically E is like Real Housewives of New York had a really great run. The original cast got replaced,
right.
and Bravo fans forever have been like, give them their own show, bring the OGs back, like they really miss them. So E swooped in and is giving them a show based in Palm
Mm.
Beach, and a lot of
Okay.
them famously, you know, are on kind of both sides of the aisle politically.
Hmm.
After the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show performance, Jill Zarin, who's an original cast member of the show, was going to be on this new show. She posts this like 2 minute long screed about how it's
I
like
think that's what I
no
saw.
white people are on
Yes.
stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
He acted within 48 hours and was
Justice
like,
for the
"She's
white
out."
people. Yeah.
Yes, and then they
Hmm.
bring in Dorinda, who is famously like one of the liberal New York housewives,
Hmm.
Yeah.
to that show. So it's been a mess. It's been a mess this week.
Wow.
But,
See,
yeah,
TLC will not cancel anyone from
good
90
for
Day
them.
Fiance. Like
I
they're just
guess
like, hey,
there's no
whatever.
line.
Yeah, you have some felonies. It's okay. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, because then you could just be on Love After Lockup.
How dare you? That's not on TLC.
Right.
So did TLC viewers like? Is there never a moment where they are sort of up in arms about something or sort of like coalesce around an issue?
I think so. I think that there have been a few people that the fans and the group of podcasters that I kind of am friendly with
Mhm.
refuse to talk about, like Angela Dean, Big Ed, like people who've just done heinous things and mistreated people. You know what I mean?
But
Like
they're still
that's
on the shows.
they're usually still on the shows. I
Okay.
mean, they still kind of try to be on the shows, but I don't know.
Okay,
But
interesting.
there's some just really bad people. Yeah. And I think they only removed maybe one or two people in the history of it. And one person was literally like making Nazi jokes or something. And they were like, okay,
Wow.
we're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a
Interesting.
lot. Takes
So
a
the
lot.
line does exist, but it's pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that before. Because, I think that kind of like the decentralization of TLC, how there's all these shows, right? On
Mm-hmm.
Bravo, Andy kind of has to answer for whatever happens.
Hmm.
So it's
Sean
helpful.
Robinson's not going to answer for anything.
Exactly. No,
Mm-mm.
she is
We're going to leave that right
she's
here.
not even gonna. She hosts the reunions and everything, and yeah, it's
She,
not the same. That's
she hosts the
interesting. So
Right.
you can
reunions and
Yeah.
get
doesn't
away with
watch the shows.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
it's
interesting that
interesting.
Andy's, I do think that Andy being that figure impacts that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
He has to be culpable. He has to answer
Yes.
for whatever happens. That people have a person to go to
Hmm.
say what happened. But when TLC,
Exactly.
it's like it's harder to get a wave,
Yeah. What are you
you
going to do?
know?
Tweet at that TLC account and
Exactly.
Yeah.
like hope they see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But then the ratings come in and they don't care because people
Hmm.
are still
Correct.
watching. They're selling the
Correct.
ads. It keeps
Sister
moving.
Wives
Right.
is their highest rated show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's even, and again, like that's the show as a non-TLC watcher that I'm like I'm very familiar with that, like in
Yeah.
sort of the
Yeah.
the high level stuff because that definitely penetrates outside of that bubble for
Like
sure.
you know that you have to hate Cody. You just
Yeah.
know
Oh,
that you
oh,
have to.
beyond.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
you don't know
Exactly.
why, but you know you gotta.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
So, what are you thinking of this season of Traitors so far before we get into our recap and our discussion about it? What are you thinking about it and how hot is Rob?
Very hot.
Mm.
I understand the sort of narrative that you could get blinded by his beauty
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a faithful or a fellow
I'd be an
traitor. I
idiot.
understand
I
that.
would be his pawn day one.
Yeah, and he's
Mhm.
also he has this sort of like I don't want to say snake charmer, but he kind of has this like charming thing about him where it's like he's a little removed, so he's a little unattainable,
Mhm.
but he also like he's way smarter than you would judge him by just looking at him. Like I think he's one of the best traders that we've seen on U.S. traders
That's
ever.
what Axel was saying too.
Yeah,
Totally.
he's really skilled. I think him and
Yeah.
Suri are probably the best two that we've ever seen on the US version.
Hmm.
I have been really liking this season kind of up until now because I've found it to be pretty entertaining. I think like how this season compared to last season is much more Housewives forward because of who the traders were. And I think
Mhm.
that to me, and maybe this is just how I'm conditioned as a TV viewer, I find that to bring much more entertainment value when we get great confessionals and a lot of shade and confrontation at
Yeah.
a round table. That to me is like what I come to traders for. But now that all the housewives are out, I'm feeling the lack of big personality at this point in the season.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm enjoying some of the like I'm enjoying the confessionals with like Johnny. He always makes me
Yes.
giggle. I'm enjoying Eric, but like I get
Yeah,
your
I'm not really
point.
enjoying Eric.
The Lisa
He,
Rinna
it's
of it all is gone.
yes. Yeah, like
Mhm.
Lisa and Candace being gone, I feel that
Yeah.
very
Mm.
heavily. Yeah.
Alex, or Axel, do you agree?
Yeah, I can see that, but I think that this was kind of, in a sense, a transitional episode of the season,
Hmm.
right?
Mm.
And I think, in a way, though, too, we got rid of a lot of the off-air with Dorinda, the off-air BS that was going on,
Mm.
too, right? So we can kind of concentrate on the
Sure.
gameplay. So I think I agree with you, and I was feeling the same thing because there definitely is, I don't know, there like when the when I call him when the dancing guy and the big
Mark.
brother guy are in a
Mhm.
room
Right.
together, you're kind of like, these guys are boring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
they're
Exactly.
standing there and then Eric walks by and you're like, I'm like, go into that room and make it a little bit more exciting,
Sure.
please.
Yeah.
Just a
Sure.
little bit more. So I do miss that, but I think that it's different, This game is evolving and this show is evolving. I was listening to Jeff Probst talk a little bit about traders. He was on the podcast The Town. I don't know if you
Oh
listen to that.
yes, I
It's a
love the
great
town.
podcast.
Mhm.
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 And he was kind of talking about how the traders needs to evolve and change. And the thing about this episode that I loved is that
Mhm.
they incorporated the traders into the challenge.
Right.
And
This
that
was
was
wild.
cool
Yeah.
because that's my biggest
Yeah.
complaint. And I think I've heard you talk a little bit about it's like the challenges are fun, but they don't really affect the game that much. It's like they're going to get the money.
Mhm.
So make the challenge where it puts at odds the traders and the faithful, or maybe gives a clue about who the traitors are. And that
Yeah.
I liked.
There needs to be some sort of incentive for the traders to throw a mission or something like that, whether that's
Yeah.
money or an
Agree.
advantage. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Being new to this, I was whining for the last 5 episodes that
Okay.
I didn't want to know who the traders were. I thought it would be
yeah.
so much more fun
Oh,
if the
interesting.
audience could play along. But remember, Axel, I told you there would come a point where I think naturally you would have to learn who they were so that you can watch the rest of it play out. This is that point.
Yeah.
I feel like right here, if we were to learn who the traders were, I think it would have been so much. I just think it would have been
Interesting.
fun to
It's
play
funny
along.
because and again, I think this is it just we're coming from different perspectives on a show
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
for Bravo, when the Bravo viewers left out of something,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't go over well. Like there was this whole prank that happened on the Real Housewives of New York reboot last season where somebody like pretended she was pregnant or whatever.
Oh,
and
God,
and
yeah.
the viewers were led to believe that she actually was
Well,
pregnant.
This was awful.
And then
that's a lie.
right. But I think for me, I like being in on the joke essentially is my takeaway. But I think that's a really interesting perspective that you would prefer not to know.
Would it be too much to have them edit 2 versions? Choose your own
also
adventure.
remember they did have the secret traitor, so that
They're
was
gonna-
sort of
That was
that,
it.
like
Yes.
so like they just chose kind of a flop person for that, and like no shade to Donna
I
Kelsey,
know.
but like she was never going to be an effective
They
traitor.
chose a very obvious person.
they should have chosen a Survivor or Big Brother person for that
Rob
role.
would have been a fantastic secret
know how to
traitor.
play.
We
Yes.
never
Yeah.
would have known. Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. Today's show is sponsored by Dame Products. This Valentine's Day, many of our reality TV couples are struggling to connect.
Struggling is one way to put it.
You know what could bring some of these couples closer, Amanda?
Therapy and self-introspection.
No.
Oh.
Well, yes. And a little shopping spree at Dame Products.
Imagine what Dame's Eva wearable vibrator could do for Lisa and Daniel. Eva is a hands-free wearable vibrator that stays in place during partnered sex. Designed for a secure and comfortable fit, it really is the ideal sex toy for couples.
I cannot imagine her in her wig trying that out. But hey, you never know.
You never know.
You guys find yourselves without a partner this Valentine's Day, like any one of our souls on the single life, why not treat yourself to some much-deserved self-pleasure? For example, Amanda, I have heard from a friend that the Min vibrator is fantastic.
Funny, I've heard that from a friend as well.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
you could think of Min as your classic mini wand, but softer, sleeker, and more powerful. And most Dame products now use USB-C charging. Finally, one less cable to stress about. I mean, imagine what the Min could do for our girl Liz. Could she make better choices and learn to find her own pleasure?
It absolutely couldn't get any worse than her previous choices.
True.
Dame believes pleasure is health. Their products are thoughtfully designed to help you connect with yourself and your partner in ways that feel effortless and exciting.
Right now, Dame is offering 20% off site-wide, their biggest sale of the year when you shop at Dame.com. And Dame is so much more than vibrators, guys. They have a ton of sexual health items for women, like Desire gummies, lube, massage oil candles, and more.
And Amy, Rick is going to be thrilled to learn they have a throw waterproof sex blanket made from ultra soft cotton. No more of that tarp that he brought.
No,
Throw
better
is
than
the-
the tarp, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Throw is a circular sex blanket with hidden waterproof layer that keeps things mess free and a pouch that keeps it travel ready. Breathable and compact, it's designed for whatever you're into, from period sex to breakfast in bed to picnic under the stars
Or a trip to Madagascar.
or a trip to Madagascar.
Go treat yourself. That's 20% off everything at Dame.com. And just a heads up, everyone, if you want it in time for Valentine's Day, the expedited shipping deadline is February 10th. So that's like right now or
Mhm.
has passed. And you know what? You don't have to wait for Valentine's Day. You can explore self-pleasure any time of the year.
Be your own Valentine every day.
And tell them Little Miss Recap sent you. Thank you, Dame.
Thank you, Dame.
Today's episode is brought to you by Factor Meals. It is freezing here in the Northeast. I think it was like the wind chill was -25 the other day. And when it's like that, I am so grateful to have a bunch of Factor meals in my refrigerator and I don't have to leave the house. Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so you eat well without the planning or the cooking. Factor Meals uses quality functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. There's no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and no refined seed oils. Factor Meals offers 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious throughout the winter. They also have various menus for whatever your dietary choice is. My favorite is the GLP-1 support menu. Let me tell you what I ate this week. The Parmesan and garlic cream shredded beef with cauliflower, peppers, and tomatoes. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm a huge cauliflower person, so I'll eat it however, and this was absolutely perfect. I also, close second, would be the honey butter chicken breast with Yukon mash, zucchini, and caramelized onions. And what's so great about Factor is there's just enough for you. So you don't have to deal with leftovers. You don't waste anything. It really makes you feel good about your diet and what you're eating. Factor meals are always fresh, never frozen. I use Factor meals and you should too. Head to factormeals.com/littlemist50off and use code littlemist50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. I've told you guys before, my kids love their breakfasts. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. Again, that's factormeals.com/littlemist50off using code littlemist50off. The link is in the show notes. Thank you, Factor.
Never.
All right. So let's talk about the episode. It's episode 9, Think Outside the Box. We pick up with the recruitment. Eric is really stunned by Rob. Rob in that cape threatening violence with an ultimatum. Just sit with that for a minute.
I'm sitting.
Eric is in. So they're going to murder somebody tonight. And Eric tells the camera, I need a helmet and an adult diaper because I'm going to shit my pants and my head is going to explode.
Hey Gib, why aren't you into Eric? I like him. I think he's kind of cute. He's kind of fun. He's having fun with it.
He's dynamic. Yeah. Listen, it's not that I don't like him. Maybe he's just not my like sense of humor. Is he doing too much? And maybe a little bit. And I also just think that he's like not going to be a good trader. And like I think I prefer to watch people who are like a little better at being a trader.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
But like
that played out.
He's like a nice, fun, cute guy. Like like he has way more to offer personality wise than.
Well, he's in the K-pop, so, you know. So they get in the turret and Rob is like, look, I've been doing this for a long time, honey. Like, this is, I've knocked everybody out of here. I just can't with him. He was created in a lab. He's not real. Rob says Natalie will be very hard to banish. So they're trying to talk out who they're going to put on this list. Right. And Rob tells the camera, Eric thinks logically and he's very intelligent. So he's going to ride this out with me to the end. But what he didn't count on is that Eric is a nervous fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
So we get to breakfast and they're talking Johnny. Johnny's name is bandied about, he's going to be the one. And then he comes in and he says, I feel like an idiot because I protected Candace and I believed in her. And I didn't realize they had such a good friendship.
Well, that's where the editing of the show sometimes like doesn't make sense to me because we saw them palling around a little bit, but nothing where it was like, oh my God, Candace and Johnny, they're best friends in the castle.
Agree.
Yeah.
That was not the impression that I got.
No,
and it'll come up later in the episode. But the other thing that I think the editing has been confusing about, especially in this episode, was like the Johnny and Tara of it all. I don't fully understand like who had what perspective on their relationship. Their
secret alliance where they are co-hosts on national television.
Their secret alliance that played out in public for 11 years.
The largest sporting event in all of the world. They do it together. Like, had no idea they knew each other. That was very funny.
Sorry to get us ahead, but like,
no, that's okay.
The editing. The editing didn't make sense in that regard as well for me.
So we've
been talking about that the whole time about
their alliance and how weak it is and weird it is.
With you.
So we learned that Dorinda's gone, and I need you guys to tell me what is Bluestone Manor because I have no idea what they're talking about. This
Bluestone Manor is Dorinda's very famous in the Bravo world house in the Berkshires, which is like a weekend house from New York City.
Okay.
And she's hosted many iconic Real Housewives of New York cast trips there.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Okay.
an iconic sort of canon place.
And they
Okay.
did
But
a
I think
girls
it's-
trip too there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the upcoming 20th anniversary for Real Housewives finale is going to be there. But
Okay.
I think, kind of classic Housewives, they think it's a little bit more of a household name that perhaps it is.
Yeah. I've never heard of it, and I've been covering reality TV for 5 years.
That's kind of the joke of it too, is
Right.
on the show, people would kind of make fun of it because they all have their names.
Okay.
It's just
Right.
like on Southern Charm, they go to Itchy Grass,
Right.
wherever, right? Like they always have
Itchy
a
grass sounds
name
like an
there,
STI.
You know?
It's a family farm, Amy.
It's a family-
Yikes.
it's an estate.
I don't want to
Yeah.
go to the farm and come home itchy. That's just not, I'm like, no. Axel, do you want to talk about what Alan is wearing when he comes in?
Oh, yeah, this is awesome. His hair is the trans rights flag.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I
Love it.
noticed that right away. I was like, that is awesome.
I didn't notice that right away.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
it's like like the way it's like white and then
Blue
like
and pink.
blue and pink, like
Mhm.
like lighter blue. And the whole outfit was great. And it also looked like he was fine china, which I thought was very nice.
Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
There's like an iconography on that, like
Yeah.
a print that looked Buster Brown, American Gothic. Like I know that print from somewhere, but I couldn't put a pin up. Maybe it is China. Thank you.
I think it was. And
Fine
it had
china.
like kind of like a translucence over it that was kind
Mhm.
of shiny. Yeah, we
Mhm.
love to talk about his outfits are incredible.
I
And
mean,
he
I-
posted about it, I think,
I
too.
would watch like a mini series, online series about just sort of like the meetings that
Dressing
he
him.
has with ever stylist he meets with, and that would
Sam
be
Spector
fascinating.
is his name.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Like
he's
I would love to
great.
watch a little featurette about that.
Yep.
That would be great. That would be great. Steven's convinced that Johnny's the traitor, and I'm like, Steven's still here? I forgot he was here. Tara's warning Johnny. Now, Johnny does tell the camera, look, Tara and I are struggling. We suck at this, but we didn't have normal childhoods. We didn't play games. We were going to the Olympics.
I love
And I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
dude, going to the Olympics is a game. It's the Olympics is literally a game.
The Olympic Games, yes, famously. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So maybe you weren't
He
playing
is-
Monopoly, but you were competing.
Johnny is one of a kind. He was
I
what was
love
it?
him.
What was he on? What was it? The Surreal Life? Wasn't that what
Oh,
he
was
was
he
on
on The
with
Surreal
Chet
Life?
Hanks and them? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That would
he
make
was
sense.
just he is all over the place,
I
but
love
he's
him.
all heart. He really
Yes.
does get it.
A
And
good
that's like when
person.
you were saying earlier, he gets attached to people and you're
Mhm.
like, I didn't really realize you were so attached to that person, but he really is. Just the way he was holding her later in the show too, like
Uh-huh.
it was very,
Oh.
you could tell they do that all the time.
I had a question for you. They said that they went through a lot of struggles together, and they mentioned infertility. Was that her or him that had the issues? Do we know?
I'm not
I'm-
sure.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh, okay.
intimately familiar with their lives off
Okay.
camera, but
Because they
I
said
kinda-
like
I
they
presumed
supported
it
each other
was-
through that.
I presumed that he was talking about like her life, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
We'll have to do research on that because
Yeah, I wasn't sure, what if maybe he and his partner were struggling to have like I wasn't
Right.
sure which side that was on.
I think what he said was, I think it was her because he said
Okay.
divorce first, and that was him because
Okay,
he had a
okay.
contentious divorce with his husband. So there were some
Mhm.
issues there. So I think that's what he was kind of saying, like, she's been with me,
Okay.
I've been with her.
That makes
you
sense.
know?
Yeah.
We're a we.
hmm
Right.
Eric is appalled at how easily Rob can lie. And he says Rob is like an eagle soaring across the sky, and he just is laying there in his crop top vest.
I mean, Rob is having those pits out at any given opportunity. I mean, he is sitting pretty and he knows it, and that's the thing. And
Yeah.
like, that's another thing that I feel like as a viewer you can't quite grasp is just how much they're all sort of in the palm of his hand. It seems
Yeah.
like I understand getting to that point with him, I guess, but as a viewer, it feels like there's all these clues building up that he
Yeah.
potentially could be a traitor, but for some reason, none of them are thinking that.
No,
And it's
no.
just like, is he that charming? And does he have them wrapped so hard around his finger that they can't see any of that?
What I think Rob's superpower is, especially in today's day and age, is he manages to be seductive and charming without any hint of toxicity. Like he doesn't
Right.
feel like he's going to hurt you, or he's smarmy, or he's faking. Like it's just so authentic.
Yeah.
And I
He
don't know
goes
if
with
that's
the
an
flow.
act, but he comes off as so authentic.
I think his whole personality is going with the flow, and he doesn't create things. He identifies them, and then he just kind of pushes it along. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
never seems like he is being aggressive or trying
No.
to manipulate or control those around him. And I think, you know what? Look, looking like him, that's a smart thing.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
That's in a way, it's a self-defense mechanism, right? Because when
Yeah.
you look like him and you're a big guy, good-looking guy, people are going to assume that you're going to want to tell them what to do. You're the big white dude, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Hmm.
he has a little bit more laid-back approach, and
Yeah.
I think it really works for this game. I don't know how
Definitely.
well it would work on Survivor, but it works for this game.
I
Mm-hmm.
think it works here, and it's funny. I think that's really accurate because sort of Rinna and Candace and some of them have been sort of trying to push this narrative on social media that like is a snake and he kind of playing unfair, has no morals or whatever. But it doesn't quite land because the Rinna vote, Colton started that ball rolling,
Yeah.
and Rob, as you said, pushed it along very much
Yeah.
so.
Mm-hmm.
He got it to the end line. The Candace elimination was only because she kind of had to go for him
Yeah.
and from a personal perspective. So you're right. Like he's not the one instigating these things. He's just making it sort of happen and executing it. And that's why their sort of narrative doesn't quite land for me about him. Like he's just playing a really good game and reading
he's doing
cues
great.
very well.
What I said to Axel when we were talking about this a few weeks ago is he just has an incredible sense of being able to read people.
Yeah.
Like he knows when
Very
to
high
cozy up
EQ.
to someone, when not to. Like he's incredible. He's
Mhm.
he's playing 3D chess. Like
Very
he's
much so.
yeah. So let's talk about the challenge real quick. They have these boxes, they have to get in the boxes, and then Eric and Rob, and of course, production's like putting the
Yeah, I
sound
know.
when they're closing the box.
I'm like on my couch, be like, how do they not hear that?
And Ellen's going, be quiet, traitors. And I'm
It's
like,
so
oh
good.
my God, dude, stop. But it's kind of great. They have to like match their answers with the traitors. And Rob is like, I got this to Eric. And like they just keep putting Tara's name in. I don't know what kind of mind fuck this was, but it worked because everybody was
work.
thrown off.
It was smart because it doesn't give anything away. And that's what earlier Rob said when they were in the spire. He said something like chaos works, right?
Yeah.
Like not knowing what's happening works.
Yeah.
So this really worked because what it did is it put the spotlight on the people answering, not the traitors.
Mm-hmm.
So because the traders are just doing the same thing. So then that means the other people are going to be he was so, the way they were doing it is so smart. And Eric, he doesn't have any idea what's going on. He's
I
just
think Eric is such a good pick to be Rob's recruitment because Eric is smart, but he doesn't have the skill for this game. So like Rob is going to absolutely be able to control him at every turn. Whereas if he had somebody like Natalie in there, he'd never be able to control them.
Yeah, it's like such a crucial week, as you said earlier. And because Eric's trying to find his footing in the turret, as like kind of the proverbial turret, it is not when he's going to turn on Rob. So it's kind of buying Rob like at least a day or a week or a day in their time, a week for us. And so I think by the time that Eric gets his wits about him, Rob could already have a plan to throw him under the bus.
I totally agree.
That's a good point.
Exactly what I think is going on. Yep, totally.
So now they have to decide who they want on their short list, and those people have to stay in their boxes. So it's Natalie, Johnny, Tara, and Kristen. And Natalie now thinks that it is Steven. Like she is laser focused on Steven, which I don't know why. Just because Lisa Rinna gave him her
I think part of it, I think that, but I also think part of it is they have to know it's a guy. Like all three other traders have been women. And I think if you're thinking like a producer,
totally true.
They like to mix it up usually. That's why having two housewives was so rare.
Yeah.
I think if I'm still a faithful in this game, I'm like, okay, it has to be one of these guys. Yeah. It has to be.
And from watching Natalie on Survivor, I can tell you she is like a control freak and she is really good at it. And that's why she won. But when she doesn't know what's going on, she has to try to find something to get behind. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Mm.
So she is not going to be like Rob, where she's just going to sit back and kind of see what's happening. She thinks she has to strike. She's very aggressive. So
Okay.
she picks somebody and she just goes at it,
Mhm.
and you can see her. She doesn't seem, even like in her interviews, she's just kind of nervous.
I
She,
can't
Yeah.
stop staring at her
Yeah.
arms in her interviews.
Oh,
Oh
she-
yeah.
Who has arms
jacked.
like that?
Yeah. She was a challenge beast, and she is
Yeah.
this show is different. I think that she didn't really know what, and she's like learning while she's on it.
She's
I
kind
think
of bringing the aggression of Survivor to
Not
it,
gonna
and
work.
it's not
Yeah.
working.
And I think that gamers get really frustrated when they're not naturally good at this game, which is it's
Yep.
like
Mm.
and I don't think that not being good at Traitors means that you're not a smart person, that you're not good at other
Right, right.
competitions. It is just like such a random kind of like slightly luck-based game, especially if you're a faithful,
Totally.
Yeah.
And so like, but if you're somebody like Natalie, I can see that being so frustrating and just like
Yeah.
as you said, sort of always wanting to have a target, a mission, something to focus on, to also prove herself and prove her worth in the game.
Yeah.
You know what? In some ways, this is like, and Axel, you and I were talking about this. It's kind of like the lazy person's competitive game. Like you just kind of have to sit back and see how things go. You can't really
Yeah.
work too hard at it. And I
have
think
to chill.
Rob is playing that perfectly. And nobody is looking at him, which is insane.
It's insane.
So Tara and Johnny, so we're going to go into the round table. Before we go in, Tara and Johnny are like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just reveal our connection. Let's go
love
in
this.
and defend one another. And you could see like the people were starting
This
to
is-
realize, like, wait, are they friends?
They're like, yeah, everyone's like walking by being like, they're like having like a
Cuddling.
powwow. Yeah.
I thought this was just so hilarious how they're
Me
making
too.
this grand announcement. I just have to rewind for a second because I was thinking of this last night. I had to mention it. Why do they just have them sit in the box for a little bit longer? Like everyone leaves, they just
Right.
kind of hang out in the box, and then
I
they
don't
just
know.
go in a different car. Like it didn't make any
I don't know.
It was just like,
Little
we're
timeout.
punishing you. Yeah, exactly. It was like a little timeout. Like you've got to sit in the box for a little while.
First of
I
all,
would've-
don't put
I would
me
have
in
taken
a
a little cat
box.
nap. Yeah, don't put me in a box. You can't define me.
No.
But the Johnny and Tara thing is hilarious. They're
It's
like,
great.
we're gonna tell everyone we're teammates, and then Rob says it later too. Is like, this doesn't help you. No, this isn't helping you. This is hurting you. Why? Why did you do this? But they
Yeah.
really believe, because it's really more. You can tell that some people are really about winning this game.
Mhm.
Like Rob, like Eric is just on a TV show. He's happy.
Mhm.
He's being seen. He's
Promoting
on
the
a TV
K-pop.
show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Johnny, like Colton was there to reestablish himself, relaunch
so.
himself.
No, thank
and
you,
it
Daddy.
did
Mm-mm.
not work, right? But I think like Johnny and Tara are there to be together and have fun. And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're leading with their heart. They don't really
Yes.
see the gameplay
They're
part of it.
very authentic, and they
Yeah.
they can't keep up a ruse for long.
Yeah,
And they feel
totally.
like this is a ruse, and they're done with it.
I mean, didn't Tara cry when she had to vote for Candace last week? Like that's it. Just
Oh, Tara's not made for this world.
no,
She is not
definitely
made
not.
for
But
traitors.
but I'm also happy she's there. You know.
Yes, me
Yeah,
too. I love
she's
her.
sweet.
Love her. Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So at the round table, Tara begins by pleading her case, and she's like, look, I promise you, I'm a faithful, and so is Johnny. And everyone clings to this. Like, how can you promise Johnny's a faithful? And I guess they're implying that she knows that who the traitors are, and she knows he's not one of them.
Hmm.
Is that right?
Oh, I don't
think.
I don't
Did
know.
I get that wrong?
Here's the thing. I love that they finally leaned into being best friends. I don't know exactly how that was supposed to like drive their roundtable performance. I wasn't
Mm-mm.
really sure. But yeah, so I guess that could be what the implication was.
Yeah, because they
Um,
kept saying, like, well, how do you know he's a faithful?
Yeah,
Why are you
right.
promising this?
Oh, I see
Or
what
best
you're-
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
I see what you're saying, Amy. I just think the whole thing was confusing.
It was
You know what I
confusing.
mean?
It was
just
confusing.
and they are, so much of it is just grasping at straw. Oh, somebody said something, they're gonna do that.
Yes.
But
yeah.
It was also funny the way Tara was before they did in her interview. She's like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna stand up. And then the first time Natalie or someone was like, well, why? And she was like, well, and then Johnny's like, well, because we're great friends and we love each other. And they're like, that doesn't mean I would die for her. But this is a game where Alan may have made you a traitor. That doesn't
See, this would be me.
anything.
I would be a mess. First of all, I'd buckle under any confrontation. Second of all, I'd be following Rob around like an idiot. And I just can't lie. So I would just be like, oh.
Yeah, but it's like them coming out as best friends, like Axel, like you said, like if I'm another faithful, thinking like a producer, oh, what a great conceit for part of this season, having two best friends,
One
and
of
one of
them
them
is a
being a
traitor.
faithful, one of them being a
Totally.
traitor.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And the
That's
faithful
very true.
and the faithful best friend in that pair would be convinced to the death that their best friend was also a
Yeah.
faithful because
True.
they can't tell them.
True.
So
True.
Yeah.
so Tara doesn't actually know.
No. So they bring up that Candace was warning Steven. So remember, we talked about this. This happened last week, that Candace and Steven were in that chat, and Dorinda and I think it was Johnny walked in, and she was like, can you give us 5 minutes here? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
And that was
suspicious. I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
It's yeah. Sorry, continue. I was going to
That's
say something else, but
Kristen thinks it could be both of them, Johnny and Tara, could be traitors together, because she thinks if one of them was a traitor, we know there was a recruitment, they would recruit their best friend, which would make sense.
That does
Listen,
make sense.
Kristen is one of those people who I'm like, I love you. You're amazing. You're smart. You're so cool. I love her on Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like good theories. They're just always about the wrong people. They're always incorrect.
Yeah.
But she really, she like a
She's
chef
thinking.
too. She gets behind it. You know what I
Very
mean?
much so. Very
Mhm.
much so.
You
Full,
think
with a full
she's-
chest.
Yes.
Mhm.
She's like, yes, chef. All right.
So more shade on Steven for Lisa putting her rocks in his grave or what. I forget what happened. We also have the secret dagger still at play, and Rob stays quiet, and Natalie goes, please say it. Please say you have it, because I'm up for murder and I'm one of the faithful dagger 6 or whatever that are left here with you. And you could tell Rob was like, girl, you are
Mhm.
blowing my game right now. Like, he was not happy.
Yeah. I feel that the dagger twist is like kind of falling flat for me. And I don't know if it's because
Mm.
Rob got it. So it's sort of like, okay,
It's
he just has
moot.
more power.
Yeah.
And sort of, yeah, it's moot. Like it just,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish that somebody else had the dagger just to make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, I was unsure of, did he then tell everyone at that point? Because
It was unclear to me.
yeah, he kind of whispered, yeah, I got it. And then they did an interview, and then he said, now's the time to tell everyone. It gives me some more power,
Yeah.
which I understand. But you're right. It's not being used in any strategic way. But if he can use it now, I guess that could be kind of strategic. But the thing is, there's a lot. He's getting too much eyes on him at this
Does he
point.
only have
That's how
two?
I'm
Does he
starting to
only have
feel.
2 weeks, 2 roundtables left? Is that what he
That's
said?
what
3
he
this
said.
episode, right?
Yeah.
said-
Yeah. This is
yeah.
the third to last.
Yeah.
So
So
there'll
he's
be
gonna
one next week,
have
one
to
in the
use
finale.
it next
Yeah.
week.
He has to use it.
Yes.
So that's why this is like on Survivor when someone has an idol. Sometimes when they only can use it at the next one, they'll
Yeah.
tell everyone
Yeah,
because it
Mm.
gives them power for
Like
that
extra,
one
also
time.
extra padding.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah.
point.
And it's like, if you think ahead, you're sort of like, okay, does he, because he wants Natalie out. Rob does. Do they just murder her tonight, or does he use the dagger power to put more votes on her at the next round table?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to use the dagger in a situation. Like, the dagger's only good if the vote is close.
Right.
Do you know what
Right.
I mean? So, like,
That's a
you
very
have
good
to get a
point.
divided round table.
For sure.
If everybody's in agreement, it doesn't matter.
Otherwise, what's the point? Right.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if he should have used it already. I don't know. We'll have to see how next
this
week
vote's
goes,
pretty
but
close. This week was pretty close.
This
of a
week was
vote,
pretty close.
But
So everybody votes for Steven and Johnny. I have the list here. Tara votes for Steven. Steven votes for Johnny. Maura votes for Johnny. Eric votes for Steven. Johnny votes for Steven. Krista votes for Tara. And Natalie votes for Steven. And then Rob, oh my God. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking one way, but then Natalie convinced me and I really trust her. Throw the responsibility on her. So I'm going to vote Steven. And then Steven gets up, he does his reveal, and I love it because he's like, I'm a faithful, you blew it. And then he turns and runs away like a little kid.
I know. It was cute. It was, yeah. Steven, like, I'll always have a special place in my heart for Steven because Laguna Beach was a pretty formative show for me.
Yep.
And, but he's just like a kind of like a good guy, like nothing really much going on there right now these days. But I, if you really think about it, and Johnny and Tara have been very, open and frank about the fact that they're not good at this game. But going into that round table, Johnny was going to be banished. And so I don't know if perhaps their strategy worked in a way that they didn't intend it to, because he was going to get voted out. And maybe it was just sort of the chaos and confusion that it kind of caused about like, what does this really mean for us?
It's a good point.
Ultimately, they're still there.
And he was very passionate. Like he was speaking like very passionately. Like I'm an authentic person. Then he's telling the camera, like, kindness is my thing and it gets me into trouble. And so like, I just think he comes off as a really nice person, and that could be saving him in times like this. So just a little bit on this end here. Kristen starts to laser focus on Eric and she's like, why are you saying nothing? Like, that's weird. You just say nothing. And Eric does his best to answer.
She's finally right, you guys.
Kristen is staring a hole through his body.
I love
this. From the very beginning, when they sat down for breakfast at the beginning of the episode, when Eric decided, I'm just not going to talk, when he's like a talkative guy, and everyone kind of likes him, a cute little kid. They're all talking to him, and then all of a sudden he's clamming up. Things aren't going well. And then it's also mentioned, I think you're probably going to get to it when someone brings up Eric on the.
So Kristen is now telling Mark and Rob, I don't trust Eric, And so I wrote a note here and I'm like, if Rob wanted to play this right, like Eric doesn't know that Rob knows that we know, you get into that, but he could let Eric choose Kristen.
It's like, and then that would put the
heat. Yeah, that would put the heat on Eric and then get Eric out. But I think he wants to keep Eric for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's like, when does he strike? Do you like, how long is Eric useful to him? I don't really know the answer to that question.
I don't either. So they meet in the turret, and my last note is, my God, Rob is a goddamn genius. Can he run for president? Is he somebody we can get behind? Maybe.
I would.
I mean, I would vote for him.
He's bringing the country together. Okay.
I think everybody's united.
Yeah. Listen, I was happy that Kristen was finally right. I liked that moment for her, that she finally was like, you know what? Because he's doing the same thing Rinna did, which is you come in all of a sudden acting differently. Rinna is an outsized personality. At the round table, she was quiet as a mouse. Kind of same thing with Eric. And I think it's interesting watching Eric take that step back kind of subconsciously. And I almost wonder if, like, when you're recruited, because everybody's always observing everybody at all times. Yeah. But then when you have this sort of extra layer of new observation that you have to do, because he's also observing Rob, and now Rob's handling himself all of a sudden. He's like overthinking, as you said, like he's lying so easily and this, that, and the other. So I think he's almost like too preoccupied in his mind and he forgets to talk. And it's like, which I understand, like just as like a human. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had that problem in my entire life. I forgot to talk.
You bring up a good point about Rob, though, because he is doing the same thing, though. He's listening her talk about Eric. We didn't see him really say anything, right? So
he just stares at you.
When it's going to happen. But my feeling is he wants to keep Eric around because for now he's not challenging him, right? And anyone that he could get into another situation that he just got himself out of with people who were playing the game. So why not keep someone that isn't with you? But it can't last too long.
Here's who we have left: Natalie, Mark Ballas, Kristen, Steven. No, Steven's gone. Tara, Johnny Weir, Maura, Rob, and Eric. So who do you guys think goes next week?
I think they're gonna murder Natalie.
Okay.
I think that to me it just feels like the vibes of that Rob really is like worried the most about her.
Yeah.
And the only way to ensure she's going to be gone when you need her to be gone is to murder her, not wait for a banishment.
Yeah.
And then at the round table, I feel like there was somebody, it felt like they were sort of setting up to be talked about, but I'm forgetting.
I
who.
think that's a good point, though. I do think that Rob at one point said Natalie is going to be hard to banish. So
Mhm.
they need to murder her. That's a good point. Because she's
Yeah,
Because she's
people
a
like her.
strong, faithful.
Yeah.
I think nobody thinks she's a traitor. You know,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
think.
And
Laura's
also, if
really not
Natalie-
doing
oh,
anything. She's just
No.
very under the radar.
She's
No.
just pronouncing things in a very Irish
Sarah.
accent.
Yes.
That brogue is strong.
It really is.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, besides Kristen going after Eric,
Johnny
who
might go. He
I mean,
might
are they
go at the
completely
round
off of
table.
Johnny? I don't know if they're
Yeah,
completely
that's
off him.
true.
You know,
Johnny
That's
or
true.
Tara, I think, could be vulnerable.
yeah, because they're also getting you. I think about the edit a lot on this show, and like
Yeah.
they're both getting a lot of screen time,
Yeah.
They are.
and part of it because they're part of the conversation, but you also think that like I feel like the editors almost before somebody gets out, they want to like highlight them more almost.
Yeah.
And like they're both
Totally.
their story's taking up a lot of airtime on this show right now all of a
Yeah.
sudden. So
Yeah.
that's not going to last for the last 2 episodes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I think my prediction is Natalie and Johnny for next week.
Okay. All right.
think
We'll
we're
see.
aligned.
Axel, are you on board with that?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right to me.
Okay.
And I'm still watching Mark. He is a silent assassin. He's
You've
dancing.
on
had problems
there.
with Mark from day one.
I just
What's going on there?
I don't know. You know, I did like his outfit though. It looked a little Sherlock Holmes-ish this episode. I kind of liked it. And when he closed the door and did the little dance,
Yeah.
they're not like when you talk about the edit, I feel like we've seen the least of him. So that
Mhm.
always makes me feel like we're going to see more later, right? Like we always see
Mhm.
that reality. They front load it
Yeah.
and then you see
Totally.
the silent person becomes the subject of everything later. So I could kind of see him sneakily coming up.
Mhm.
But it's good. They got some Rob is just he's in control right now.
I know.
Mhm.
It's his game to
Really
lose.
is.
It's his game to
Yep.
lose.
I know.
100.
I almost want to just like leapfrog to the finale and see them around that bonfire and just like see what because Rob also he has a plan. Like that he has mapped this out.
Do
And
you
so I'm
have to
just-
be shirtless at the bonfire?
it probably
Asking for a
helps your
friend.
chances. It probably helps your chances. Even more
Yep.
distraction. Blind them by the full beauty of it all. Take it
All
all
the
off for
snake
what I care.
tattoos.
Yeah. Let them see map out the full snake.
Exactly. Yep. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, we said it all.
We did.
We
I did.
said
It
it
was
all.
awesome.
Gib, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everyone where they can find you if they don't know.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to be connected, and you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Gabbing with Gabe is my podcast. It's more mostly Bravo focus. I do talk about the Traitors a lot on there. You can find it wherever you get this great podcast. It's at least twice a week, and yeah, just go follow me if you listen. If you like Bravo, I'm your guy.
We have a lot of people like Bravo, and since I
Good.
don't talk about it, they need to find it somewhere
Okay.
else.
I'll be your outlet. We'll scratch both the itches.
Nice.
Axel, remind everyone where they can find you.
I go to dvrpodcast.com. We're still doing our fun little hijack experiment short podcast and Night of the Seven Kingdoms we're covering as well, which has been a lot of fun. A new guest each week. We're having a lot of fun on podcast Winterfell.
All right. I'll put both links in the show notes. Thank you both
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you.
And we'll
Yeah,
see you
thanks,
guys all
Gib.
next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Little Miss Recap. If you'd like to support the show, the best way you can do that is to join our Twin Flame universe, which is our Patreon, Supercast, and Apple subscription feeds. The links for those are in the show notes. You get ad-free episodes and a ton of bonus content. You can also subscribe to the feed so you don't miss an episode, share the show with a friend, and leave a 5-star review. To contact the show, please email me directly at amy@littlemissrecap.com or join our Facebook group Backdoor Friends. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.